Jah. His foundation is in the holy mountains. Jah, Rastafari, lover the gates of Zion, more than all the dwellings of Babylon. Glorious things have been spoken of thee, O city of Jah. I will make mention of Rahab and of Babylon. To them that know I, behold, Philistia and Tyre. For in Ethiopia this man was born there. And of Zion it shall be said that the highest himself shall establish her. For Jah, Rastafari, shall write it when he counted up the peoples, that this and that man was born in her. I hold, as well as players and singers. All my springs are in thee. Jah! Hail Jah, hail Jah, hail Jah Rastafari. Oh, Ayanaya, hail Jah, hail Jah, hail Jah Rastafari. Oh, Ayanaya, Rastafari, hail Rastafari. Rastamana, hail Farai, hail Farai, in a Mount Zion. Oh, Ayanaya, hail Jah, Ayanaya, hail Jah, hail Jah Rastafari. Oh, Ayanaya, hail Jah, Ayanaya, hail Jah, hail Jah Rastafari. Hey, Rastamana, hey, Rastafari, hey, Rastafari. Rebingi mana, hail Farai, in a Mount Zion. The Rastamana, hail Jah, Ayanaya, hail Jah, hail Jah Rastafari. Jah, oh Ayanaya, hail Jah, hail Jah, hail Jah Rastafari. Oh, Ayanaya, Rastafari, hail Rastafari. Ibongo mana, hail Farai, in a Mount Zion. The conquering lion, Jah, shall break every chain. The conquering lion, Jah, shall break every chain. The conquering lion, Jah, shall break every chain. and give I a victory. So, again and again. The Lion of Judah shall break every chain. The Lion of Judah shall break every chain. The Lion of Judah shall break every chain and give I a victory. Again and again. Oh, I hail Jah, I hail Jah, hail Jah Rastafari. Jah, oh, I hail Jah, I hail Jah, hail Jah Rastafari. Jah, oh, I hail Rastafari, hail Rastafari. The Rastaman I hail far in a Mount Zion. Jah, holy Mount Zion is a holy place. No sin shall not enter there. Holy Mount Zion is a holy place. No sin cannot enter there. So let the words of thy mouth and the meditation of thy heart be acceptable in thy sight. Hail Rastafari. So let the words of thy mouth and the meditation of thy heart be acceptable in thy sight. Hail Rastafari. Holy Mount Zion is a holy place. No sin shall not enter there. Holy Mount Zion is a holy place. No sin cannot enter there. So let the words of thy mouth and the meditation of thy heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Rastafari. Jah, by the rivers of Babylon, O Rastaman stand firm, for there we wait, when we remembered Zion, by the rivers of Babylon, a Rastaman stand firm, for there we wait, Ola Mount Zion is a holy place. No sin shall not enter there. Ola Mount Zion is a holy place. No sin shall not enter there. So let the words of thy mouth and the meditation of thy heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Rastafari. So let the words of thy mouth and the meditation of thy heart be acceptable in thy sight, Hail Rastafari. Ola Mount Zion is a holy place. No sin shall not enter there. O King Alpha and Omega, O King Alpha and Omega, Mount Zion, Mount Zion, oh, far Jah, King Selassie and Empress Menenaswa. Selassie. How good and how pleasant it is for I and I to dwell together in unity and love. It's like the precious oil that falleth from the head to the beard, even Aaron's beard and unto the skirts of his garment. It is the dew of Hermon and the dew that descended unto the mountains of Zion. For it is there that Rastafari has commanded the blessings, even life forevermore. Rastafari. Aye.
Yes, one perfect love from the house of Rastafari. How good and how pleasant it is to see once and once, brothers, sisters, man, woman and child from different parts of the world. So this is the vibration of the house of Rastafari. One perfect love. Despite any problem or tribulation or affliction that you're going through in your life right now, just forget your troubles and elevate yourself. Through the powers of Rastafari, this is what I and I bring. A vibration of love, compassion, respect, equal rights and justice, and upliftment for all mankind. So don't go nowhere. We're about to start for the panel of today. This was the Naya Bingi chants from the House of Rastafari. I want to give thanks to Ras Jimmy Lion, the brothers and the sisters from the House of Rastafari. We're here since 2003 with Rototom, just sharing the love of Rastafari, preserving this beautiful heritage that was handed down to I and I from our beloved matriarchs and patriarchs of the Rastafari Livity. So we're gonna step behind the table and have a beautiful reason with one and all. Thanks again for your presence. We love you, we love you, we love you. Yes, yes, yes. Give thanks. Yes, blessed love, one and all. Wow. We also have the beautiful blessings of the rain. So, rains fall. Yeah? So, well, give thanks and praises for your presence here at the Reggae University. We are delighted to be here. Very, very happy to be here. And we feel privileged to be here with the Reggae University, Rototom Sunsplash. And for those that might not know what we're doing here every year, playing the drum, chanting and singing, and talking about Rasta things every afternoon for a couple of hours. Well, this is what the House of Rastafari does. Since 2003, we are on this journey. So we are in charge of the Rastafari cultural activities within Rototom Sunsplash Festival. So first of all, I want to give thanks to all the present. I want to give thanks to Rototom organizers, the Reggae University team, of course. That's their home, that's their house, so we're honored to be guests. And I just want to spend just a couple of words regarding why it's important to have cultural activities within reggae festivals. For that I know, for my experience, having grown into reggae music and Rastafari liberty, I'm happy and I have no problem in saying that there is no reggae music without culture. And I truly believe that, despite anything that can appear from the surface, there is no reggae music without culture. If we take away the culture from the reggae roots music, then it's just another musical genre. But growing up as a youth, in my early teens, almost a child, I discovered the power of Bob Marley and the Rastafari lyrics. And I found something that I had never experienced before. It is a consistency. It is a perfect balance between material and spiritual. So, growing up in Rastafari now, I see that every opportunity that we have to preserve and to honor the culture of the roots Rasta reggae music, we must utilize it. So this is why I'm really happy and really grateful also to the festival to upholding the cultural events is extremely important. If we are all here, it's because reggae music has a soul, reggae music has a spirit, reggae music has a divine spark, and this is what the House of Rastafari is all about. So I am very blessed to be here with two very, very powerful brethren. I have Rasaibi on my right, heading out of Arba Minch, Ethiopia. Can we make him feel our love? Rasaibi is a beloved brethren, one of the forerunners into the Rastafari movement on this side of the world. So he has a lot to teach, even though he might not accept the title of teacher, but we know him for what he really is. And we have on our left here, beloved brother Jimmy Lyons, out of UK. Blessed love, Jimmy Lyons. And of course, all of you had the possibility of experiencing, the vibrancy, the vibration to the Naya Bingi chants. I myself, I'm Julio. I'm the director of the House of Rastafari, and I'm blessed once again to be here with you all. So, the topic of today. The title is Rasta Rise. Wow. What are we going to talk about? Rasta Rise. So, many people might have heard this expression when it comes to the reggae music, the word rise, rising, uprising, rise up, rise and shine. So it's quite a common and recurrent expression or word. So we want to analyze exactly what do we mean by Rasta Rise, and what is the inner meaning behind of this. We're going to be talking about elevating our life, our person, and the circumstances that we are immersed in, right? So it's going to be a journey throughout spirituality and materiality. So the material world and the spiritual world fused, blend in one. And this is what we call in Rastafari the oneness. So while some people might consider spirituality something of the heaven and materiality something of the earth, we as Rastafari people, we like to see these two dimensions blend, fused together. Two aspects of the same reality, spirituality and the material world. So we're going to be reasoning about how to strengthen this spiritual aspect in your life in order to improve then your daily, mundane life. So before jumping into the topic, Rasai I want to give a blessing or say something. We're going to move on. Jimmy Lion, I want to say something or we move on?
Just to say greetings and love everyone, and thank you for coming here to listen, and hopefully we can all learn something together about the rise and the continual rise of the Rastafari liberty.
Yes, sir. So, a few months back, I was traveling through Jamaica, and who is familiar with Jamaica knows that even just a bus ride through Jamaica can be a very powerful and inner experience, isn't that? So I was traveling with this minibus, and when we were, of course, going through bends and curves, and we don't really like, when we are in Jamaica, we don't really like to take like the bigger bus, not the more expensive bus, not so much for the money, but more for the experience. Traveling with the people is part of the culture, is a cultural experience, yeah? So the minibus, they are kind of tight, they go very fast, but if you are lucky enough to have access to even just a small corner of the window, then it's like you are in front of the National Geographic best documentary. So you are traveling through jungles, you're traveling through banana, palms, coconut trees, all of that. And you cannot avoid feeling inspired by that powerful creation. So while I was looking out at the window, I was meditating on my works and what I do in life, which is exactly what you're seeing now. Talking, producing contents about Rastafari. And I say to myself that if through my works I did not manage to inspire the people, not even the 1%, comparing to how much inspiration that jungle was giving, then all my work was basically in vain. If I did not accomplish not even 1% of that powerful inspiration, if I did not manage to convey, to give to the people, to transmit to the people, not even one small percentage, then my work was in vain. Why is that? Because the inner power of creation is to rise, to elevate. Everything in creation is just rising up, is elevating, is expressing such a powerful life essence that you cannot avoid feeling inspired and transformed eventually by that life essence. So if we manage to express even 1% of that powerful energy, we would be really, really good at what we do. This is why. Because everything in creation is ascending, is rising up. Everything in this creation, everything in this life is elevating. If you see the grass is growing, if you see the fruits is getting mature and ready to release the seed, if you see a child growing, if you see your body growing and becoming stronger and stronger, everything in this life is elevating, is rising up. So, rise is a very significant, interesting word in English. You say rise when you rise up in the morning, but you also say rise when the dough is rising, if you have to make if you have to prepare the bread. Rise means to ascend, to grow higher. Rise means also to elevate yourself. So how can we elevate our life and become a better person, channeling ourselves through this universal energy that we find around ourselves? Not only in the jungle of Jamaica, but in everything that we do. How can we tune into this extremely strong rising energy that we find in creation, this life essence? How can we do that? First of all, we need to be able to take some time every day to contemplate this strong energy around us. And then when we feel that energy around us, of course we want to be part of it. But if we don't feel it, and if we are not aware of it, we will never be motivated. So we need to contemplate life and try to grasp the meaning of things happening to us. We need to try to take away the distance between ourselves and what is happening to us. And we need to ultimately stop thinking that what happens to us in our day is not connected with our elevation. If we want to improve, if we want to elevate ourselves, there is only one thing that we must do. We must learn to elevate what is around us. In other words, there is not self-elevation without elevating what is around you. When many philosophies and many religions turn their head towards the heaven, we as Rastafari people, we go the opposite way. We turn our sight to the earth, this beautiful planet Earth, and the material dimension. Because if we were created as angels, if we were supposed to be angels, then, well, we would be the last one on the list, because there are so many angels in heaven. But the master of this creation looked down and said, hey, you know what? I already have enough angels. What I need now is really some powerful warriors made of flesh, bone, blood, spirit, mistakes, victories, failures. This is what I need. I need somebody that can fall down, has the capacity of messing up things, but has also the capacity of turning their lives to the best. We need somebody that is able to fight for their realization, and angels cannot do that. Celestial beings cannot do that. So the big master looked down and say, hey, I know what we need. We need somebody called the human race, human beings. Yes, they have the power to destroy, but they have the power to heal. They have the power to do beautiful things as well, awful things. So this is what I need. This is who I need to be my collaborator. Somebody that has the capacity of choosing which way he wants to go, she wants to go every day when he or she wakes up in the morning. So this is us, beautiful people. This is I and I. This is us. Rastafari blessing. So until we keep living, blindly thinking that everything that is good in life according to our status is what really needs to happen to our lives. In other words, until we keep being, until we keep believing that we are those that knows everything and we know how things should go in life, then we are only living half of our potential. It is when we fall down and we manage to rise up again that we learned how to transform this creation. So Rasta Rise is a anthem, is a hymn. Rasta Rise is a contract that we do with life, the world, and the human race. And the contract says that we are devoted in utilizing everything that we live and everything that we experience to turn it into something godly, divine, precious, and holy. So this is Rasta Rise. Rasta Rise is knowing that when you fall back, you're only getting closer. Rasta Rise is revolutionizing everything that you might have thought until now, and start switching to a different state of mind. Rasta Rise is knowing that your limits, your limitations, and your afflictions, they are exactly what you are needing in this moment in order to become the person that you were destined to be. Isis I. So I would love to hear from Rasaibi and Ras Jimmy. What's your take on this?
Greetings, Rastafari love. Man is created and given this unique position between heaven and earth. Man is created with the same heavenly spiritual fire, but also something from the earth. So man consists of these two elements. The angels only consist of fire alone. Man consists also of earth. So in this position, man is given to rule creation, not to destroy creation, to rule it along with creational powers. So when we say, as Julio was mentioned, you're traveling in Jamaica and it's like National Geography and we say rise and shine, there's another side to it. When you're traveling in Jamaica, there's the next one, rise and peace. Yeah, man, don't miss that one. Yeah? Jimmy Lion.
Yes, sir.
Rastafari. So rising within the Rastafari liberty, it's known that one rise in this life, and it's known that life is survival. Rastafari does not accept the concept of death of one. I and I see life as a continual continuum. Life is forever. Even the mortal parts of the physical going to make up parts of this life, the trees, the earth, the elements, the oil, everything that we burn and use. So man is mindful that I and I is nature. Even though I and I have manifested as man and woman in a physical form, it is still part of the one spirit of Rastafari, as his life, which is a continual rising and a moving forward. There's no backward within the chart.
Yes, I. So when you come to Rasta Rise now, so the foundation, in a nutshell, is that you cannot elevate yourself if you don't elevate what's around you. So this is the extract, the essence of all this talk. So it would be great, if you are in agreement, of course, it would be great if you take it with you back home, everywhere you go, everywhere you belong to. Aware of the fact that who you need to have around, you have it already. Who is supposed to be around you for your elevation is already there. And you are around the people that you live with or that you share your life with because you are also supposed to help the elevation. So elevation now, we don't have to get this concept tricky. Elevating yourself, it doesn't mean that you become some kind of guru or some kind of celestial, angel, spiritual, ethereal. No, nothing like that. Elevating yourself means that you become more of a human being. We don't run on top of a mountain and just spend our life up there. No, maybe for a period of time can be nice. But the objective is to be present in this creation amongst mankind in order to elevate mankind, right? So this is the ultimate goal. So if you want to really try to grasp what's your mission in life, you really need to look around your dinner table. You need to look around and see who is present in your life, your family, your friends, your workmates. So these are the people that the Most High put around you so that you can help them growing and become a better people, and they can help you the same way. So this is the message. Rasta Rise does not mean that now we stop talking to people because we become somehow holy or spiritual or metaphysical. We don't even talk about philosophy. The topic of today is not philosophy, it's life. Philosophy is beautiful, you know, but it can be really misleading. Religion, even worse. We're talking about life and a way of life. So this is why Rasta Rise means that if you want to elevate yourself to become a better person, don't start from yourself and locking yourself into a bubble and just looking for peace and perfect harmony or perfect silence or a perfect meditation state. No, nothing like that. If you want to elevate yourself, elevate what's around you. Fix up what is not working in your life. Fix up what is not functioning. Oil the engine. Speak a softer words when you are quick to anger. If you are fire, you need to practice being water. If you are storm, you need to practice being still pasture. If you are angry, you need to exercise contentment. So this is Rasta Rise. Rasta Rise is working on the antidotes of life and knowing that every energy that was put in this creation is for the goodness and for the goodness alone. So even your ego, our ego, is such a beautiful and divine tool that if used for the best, it can help you achieving something that you had never thought before. So there is the Most High and nothing outside of the Most High. There is the divine in this life and everything is contained in the divine. And when you see evil, when you see things not working, it's not because there is a lack of God or of godliness. It's because there is confusion. It's like, I don't know if you remember back in the days, sometime we used to receive emails that they were all coded. They were not words. It was like a series of numbers and letters just coded, impossible to understand. Yeah. So now technology has got a little better, and those things don't happen very often. But back in the days, early emails, sometimes you receive one of these emails and it's all numbers and codes and signs. That is evil. Evil is goodness that has not been put into order as yet. This is evil. This is what we call being bad. There is not a God of goodness and a God of badness. There is only one God, and He is the master of the universe and the master of love and goodness. When we experience evil, it's because there is confusion, and that confusion has not been rectified as yet. So now we go back to the initial statement. Elevate yourself means elevate what's around you. Fixing up what's around you. Start from there, and everything will start to change in your life. Elevating what's around you. Daily circumstances, arguments at home, problems at work, an incomprehension, a misunderstanding. When you fix those things, you find a strength within yourself that you were not aware of having. And at that point, you are elevated. Because next time that will happen, you know that you can do it. That's the process, as easy as that. Nothing metaphysical. We're not coming here with big rituals or big prayers that you have to recite day and night. It's in tuning. It's tuning in into this life vibration of this universe, of this creation. Because it's the vibration of life, the vibration of I, what we call in Rastafari the bigger I. What is this I? I is the life force which flows in everything that we see and everything that we perceive. Physical, non-physical, visible, not visible. There is a life force, a divine life force, and that's the presence of this I. That's why Rastafari used the word I, the letter I, in everything. Is I and I, is I man, is I was standing, is I, is the bigger I within I, and the bigger I which flows in everything that we experience. So our mission is what? To tune in into this life frequency. And we start from our daily circumstances. They are the best tools that we possess. Eyes is I.
Give thanks, Ras Julio. Blessings. Yes, he said that as a man thinketh, so is he. So we can be our best supporters and we can be our worst enemies. Man has the power of thought, which is a divine power. And it's up to us. We can create obstacles in our own life by the way we think and by thought patterns. We can create lack in our lives, just as we can create abundance. Yes? You agreeing with me? Yes! All right. So, it's to rise now. Rasta rise means to break out of those limitations that we might be taught in school and society and so forth from we grow up. To rise out of the box, think out of the box and shine. Rise and shine. And know that whatever you think upon, because there are two different types of laws in the world, right? There are human-made, man-made laws that run countries, and then there are divine, spiritual, cosmical laws. The first set of laws, you can bribe your way. A rich person sometimes can escape out of prison just because of money. But the spiritual, cosmical laws, they stand for everyone, at all times, in all places. So if we thinking for ourselves that, yes, I will succeed, yes, the chance is so much bigger that we reach there, or the other way around, if we criticizing ourselves, and especially if we start expressing that I will not make it again on the test, I always fail. And I think we have friends in school that they knew everything in the classroom, but as soon as tests came, they fail. They are projecting that failure into themselves by talking to their friends and saying, I will fail. So we have that power to rise or go down. There is always these two crossroads, or when you come to the crossroads, you have the free will, the choice. When situations happen in life, it's up to us how to react to it. It's not like, you made me angry. That don't work. I choose to be angry. I can choose not to be angry. I can choose to take a few deep breaths and look upon the situation differently and choose another reaction to this, yeah, and cool down the situation. So man have so much power. So bringing it back to Marcus Garvey, it was Marcus Garvey's birthday yesterday, and we was chanting the whole thing about Marcus Garvey. It's not just one day, it's every day is Marcus Day, not true? Every day is Marcus Day, because his teaching, they will just continue. And we say without self-confidence, man is twice defeated. So build up self-confidence, love for the eye, yourself. Love to take care of yourself, get to know yourself, what you need. We are all individual, so there is not one balance that works for everybody. Everybody have to find their own balance, the equilibrium between work and rest, between the equilibrium in life. Then we agree. Yes. Rasta Julio?
Yes, I. Give
thanks.
Yeah, within the rising of Rastafari, as Brother Ivy has said, thoughts are things, and Rastafari is very aware of thinking and how the thinking manifests in action and words. So I keep a clear citation on words, and we ensure that words that were used are positive and hold the vibration that I expect to manifest. For instance, we don't go back, we go to the other forward in thinking. We don't deal with the morning because you're mourning something. So it's a rising or it's a greeting. And the thought follows the word, follows the action. So in Rastafari, it's a code within life. And I are still finding the ways through the laws of life. When I see how they manifest within I own life. So this I can reason with that idea, but within the I is oneness. So the concept of Rastafari maintain the oneness of life.
Nice design. So if we look into the book of life, there is a very, very peculiar sentence. Very few words. We look into Exodus 25:8. They will build a sanctuary and I will dwell among them. That's it. So for many generations and generations, people have been trying to find the inner profound mystical meaning behind these things, because it looks like just an action to be performed. Build me a sanctuary and I will be there. But it turns out, beloved family present here today, it turns out that this is the biggest and the most tremendous statement that mankind has ever encountered. This is a business statement. It's a business plan. Yeah? This is exactly mankind business plan. You know, when you have a business, you have to make a business plan. Okay, I'm going to sell tomatoes. I'm going to sell them every day at the market. Hopefully, I will make 2 euros, 5 euros, 10. This is my business plan. Selling tomatoes, I'll do this, I'll make my living, and I'll feed my family, right? So it turns out that the Most High, Exodus 25:8, He presented us the ultimate statement and direction, commandment, but at the same time also the solution to all our problems, and if that was not enough, even the meaning of our life here on planet Earth. Yes, everything condensed in this very small sentence, only few words. What the Most High is saying is, build me a house, and I will dwell there. What is the meaning? The meaning is that we have to create a space for the sacred. In the turmoil, in the difficulties of our quotidianities, of our daily life, in the middle of our struggle, in the middle of our life stories, we must build a home for the sacred, for the holy, for the godly, for what is good, for what is beautiful, what is meaningful. And yes, this is the meaning of life. Ras Julio, what is the meaning of life? Ras Ivy, Jimmy Lion, what is the meaning of life? Well, we could talk from today until the end of times, and yes, the meaning of life is this: to build a home for the sacred in your life. Nothing spiritual, but something yet very, very practical. Every day, don't forget that you have as a mission to build a home for what is holy, what is sacred in your life. You may be a believer, not a believer, religious, not religious. We don't care, because Rastafari is beyond religion. Religion doesn't scare us, doesn't confine us. Rastafari deals with life. That's why we're rising. That's why we're rising. So building a home for the sacred means remembering that your mission is to celebrate what is good in his life. And everybody, despite being religious or not religious, everybody has something sacred. Yeah? I mean, if you are in love for somebody, that is sacredness. If you love your family, you love your children, you love your spouse, that is sacredness. If you believe deeply in some ideal and some moral tendency, that is sacred. So we have to remember that our mission is to build this home, this sanctuary for the sacred, important, godly, and beautiful things in life. This is what we are supposed to do here. And this is rising. Why? Because even when you are in the depth of your problem, your tribulation, if you keep that in your mind, you will be able to find also there, in the depth of the problem, a home for the sacred. Who has said that God and spirituality and the beauty of life only dwells in what we call the good days? What about the not good days? Who has said that you can only celebrate life when everything goes well? So we are turning things on the head. We are completely shifting from one approach to another. The conventional approach is, I give thanks because everything is good. Yeah, very easy. So what about giving thanks when things that don't look so good? But you are able to remember that your mission is to create a home for the sacred. Right there, in the desert, this command was given in the desert. Why in the desert and not in a forest or in a jungle or in a palace? Because what is the desert? Desert is a place where everything is open. There are no walls, no containments. Yeah? So everything is wide open. What is the meaning? The meaning is that everything can happen. The potentials are open and out there. So when you feel yourself in the desert of your life, that's where the best is about to happen. So build a sanctuary in the desert. Keep it with you. Keep it with you. And that will tremendously transform everything that you go through. And that's the way to elevate yourself. That's the mission statement. Build a house, build a sanctuary. And that's what Rastafari does since 100 years now. Everywhere we go, we build up sanctuaries. Not physically speaking, but where two or more gather together, that's a small sanctuary. When we chant Nyabingi, when we reason, when we cook, when we talk to one another, when we love in Rastafari. When we cry in Rastafari. When we're happy, when we're sad, when we are afflicted, when we're victorious, when we fall, and when we rise, we do it in Rastafari. Because there is the sanctuary, and we are the custodian. We are the custodians. So after you build this house now, this sanctuary, this home for the sacred, what's next? Next is to share the tremendous light and the life force that you have in this house, and you want to share it with one another. That's why in Rastafari, we are never working on a one-way road. It's always a two-way. It's a fluent communication, it's a channel, open channel. Yeah? So you don't elevate yourself just for the sake of it, because you want to be a more enlightened person. Nothing like that. You want to be an enlightened person, then great, but do it quickly, so that then you can go back down under, you can go down the mountain and share the light with one and one and one and one. So you want to be an enlightened person, living spiritually, great. So what's your agenda? Your agenda is to go down and ask, okay, what can I fix? Where can I help? What can I do? What do you need? How can I be of help to you? That's the ultimate religion. That's the ultimate faith. And we all agree on that. We all agree on that. So building this sanctuary, building this home for the sacred every day, the sacred of the rain falling, the sacredness of our children around the table, the conversation with a beloved friend, somebody important to you, sharing joy with her or him, and sharing the affliction with him or her. That's the sacredness. Yeah? And then share it with the world. Stop being an individual citizen and become a world citizen. And that's where the limitations between I and you stop existing, and we become I and I. That's Rastafari. I see I in I and I.
Rastafari, no. Yes, Julio is so right when he's saying it's not just about elevating I within I, but to elevate as much as we can, because we know that a chain is never stronger than what? The weakest link. Thank you. So if I alone have this knowledge and wise man, how does that contribute to my society growing? No, we are here, we want to see everyone elevate. Then we reach in somewhere where every spiritual and religious book in the whole world, and every spiritual and religious tradition in the whole of creation have something in common, except of fasting and prayer, is that they all, and I all look forward to the golden age. It is mentioned by many times. It's called about 1,000-year kingdom where man shall reign with God, be gods on earth. All creation look forward to this. And mankind has been looking forward for this for thousands of years. And I can tell thee something, brethren and sisters. It is right there by the doorstep. It's not far away. It's right by the doorstep. So there's a choice. Man is free to make his choice. We have two roads ahead of us. We can make heaven on earth, or we can make... Yes, we don't want that. Yes. So mankind is free. Man is given this divine choice, so-called free will, to make our world. We want to see this world to be a better place, innit? I see many mothers and fathers in here, and grandmothers and we want to see a better world. How that gonna happen? It not just happen also. We need to have everyone elevated to a new thing. It will be like what is called paradigm shift, something like that. And people will look back and say, 20 years ago we used to behave so amongst ourselves. We used to treat animals that way. We have to lift mankind. We are all one, not true? Yeah, so we all one. We have to elevate the whole of creation. It always starts first with who? I.
I. So let's all get busy building a house for the sacred, a house for your soul. This is the concept. This is, in a nutshell, building a house for the sacred is building a space within your life for your soul, for that spiritual side of you, for your emotions, for your realization, for your accomplishment, for the best part of you. So if we could take this back home as homework, yeah, and we're gonna get busy creating the space for our souls within our lives, taking some time, somebody enjoy music, somebody enjoy nature, somebody enjoys being with the beloved ones. So take that time and carve out some space for the soul, for the spirit, for the big I, for this life. I remember that we have a choice, you have a choice, I have a choice. Every human being has a choice. That's our mandate. It can be a blessing or a curse, but our choice is, what am I going to do now? Am I going to elevate or am I going to lower? Every word that I speak, is that gonna be something that elevates or lower this world? In other words, am I about rising or lowering? So bring back with you this meditation and think about it. And if everybody makes that decision and ask himself or herself, what's my agenda? What am I here to do on this planet Earth? What is my life about? Rising or lowering? So then maybe we're going to see some very, very important changes in this world. Brother Jimmy Lyon?
Yes, just to follow up on what Julio has just said there, that within the I self is a patience and care and a diligence with how ones meet life and how life meets ones, because life is one big road with lots of signs. So when you're riding through the ruts, don't you complicate your mind. Flee from hate, mischief, and jealousy. Now bury your thoughts. Put your dreams to reality. Wake up and live. Right Honorable Robert Nesta Marley. So him have the key to life, see?
Yes, so we give thanks, and I think we have just a couple of minutes. If there are any questions, any sharings, before we seal up the panel for today, and then we're gonna see each other tomorrow at 4:15 at the House of Rastafari for the Naya Bingi chants, and 4:45 for the Rastafari seminars. And then we're coming back here, the Reggae University, on the day 20th, August 20th, for a very special, unique session with a great guest, the man by the name of Albo Rosi. And we're going to be talking about Africa and the African Victory Tour. So don't miss that one. Don't miss that one. Pupa Albo as an official guest for the Reggae University House of Rastafari session. So any questions before we shout out?
Well, I have a couple of questions myself here, sound guy.
Yeah, that's right.
There are no 2 minutes answers, I think, for them. Well, the first thing is for Julio. I want to know, when you have been speaking, let's say 80% about spirituality, but at some point you have mentioned some parts of the Bible, Old Testament. I want to know, how do you separate, or what's your point when you say things like, you say God wants you to be a warrior right now, not just an angel? This kind of message, where do you take it from? From the Bible, and you assume it, or you feel it, and then you find the information? How is this process for us finally to you telling us this is an idea or a theorem that I truly believe?
Yes, we need to be spiritual warriors. Yes, being a warrior is different than being a soldier. Spiritual warrior means that you have to fight with your own hand against your own limitations. It doesn't mean that...
Maybe the question is, how do you don't fall into dogma being spiritual? How do you find this path for yourself to be true to yourself and not following a dogma?
Well, because when you're dealing with your own life, when you're dealing with your own limitation, when the work is with your own self, it's an inner journey, then it's not so much about the dogma, but it's about tuning in to the soul. So what we're trying to say is that we believe that we are already complete and godly. There is a godly side of every human being which is complete and is also happy and is healthy. So we don't really need to achieve or invent or create something different.
It's just finding it out along the journey.
You have to rediscover that aspect. So being a warrior, it doesn't mean that you have to go and fight somebody else. You have to be a cleaner, if you like more the expression of a gardener, of a cleaner. You have to weed out the bad weeds in your life, and you have to uncover the preciousness and the shining gem that your soul is. So that is already containing all the solutions to your problem. That's why we need to rediscover more than discover.
Okay, thank you. My second question is for all of you. You have talked a lot about consciousness, which is really good, and I really like it. And I would like to know your approach for consciousness is, are you into let's say, the last scientific researches about consciousness, people like Donald Hoffman? Or you have your own dogma, your own view of consciousness, and that's all? Or are you open for everything new that is coming from the science, like people like Donald Hoffman, or let's say people from India that is making a theory about the reincarnation, really serious research? We're talking here about consciousness here. Are you interested about them, or sharing with all this knowledge over the world, or just having your own point of view? Just curious, It's not just curious about it.
Wonderful question. I thank you so much for this question. We never got asked these kind of questions. Well, let me share that one of my interests is neuroscience. I love neuroscience. I love the research and the science about the brain.
So you know a bit about Donald Hoffman and this kind of people, no?
Yes, and
Yeah.
even more, even more.
That's
Even-
wonderful.
I love neuroscience because this is the time and age where, for the first time, mankind is tracing a map of our soul. I mean, our mind is only the external side of our soul.
Because, for example, you talk about the eye, and finally, the science has discovered that we can just receive 2% of all the magnetic frequencies around us. So we are just perceiving 2% of reality with our, let's say, headset. So,
Yes, and all the emotions that we generate in our mind, in our brain, those are external manifestations of our soul. So this is really the first time in the history of mankind when man is really able to trace the first ever map of a human soul. And that is through neuroscience. That is
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
they study everything that happens in your mind, in your brain, all the neuropaths. Yeah, so it's beautiful, man. I love it. And I see no conflict between that and spirituality. In fact, I only see a great, huge confirmation. We are witnessing the time where finally science and spirituality are no longer two separate things, but they are becoming that one thing. Quantum physics.
thank you so much for.
Give thanks.
Thank you. I love you spiritually. My question is, what about learning to love evil? I'll explain. Isn't problems, isn't the bad weed a part of creation of God? Isn't a part of this life that we experience and is precious? If not rising, if not going down, what about accepting the things as they are? Because part of the love, part of God creation.
Well, we have to accept all circumstances anyway when they appear. In the fullness of life, something happens, and the fact that it happened is it accept already. You understand? The fact that something happens means that it accepted. Things can't happen if they're not allowed to happen in the journey of life, within life. So things happen that impact us all in ways that, let's say, we don't like. When some people call it negative too, accidents or different things. And we have to deal with them in practical ways. And that is the balance of life, the light and the shade. Everyone within the journey have to deal with that. Everyone. No one is exempt from it. So it's not like you love evil. It's just that aspect of creation that things can go negative, things can impact in a way that your itation may not like, or someone else may not. And within clear thought and within the sacred moment of yourself, the enlightenment will come on how to deal with things, how to take the acceptance and move forward with things.
And also sometimes you need necessarily you need some not so good things to happen to you in order to find your own way. So the humbleness now is not looking at yourself and believing that you are God and you can dictate how your things and how your life should go. Sometimes we need to become more humble and accept that maybe in order to reach here, we have to go this way. It cannot be a straight line. Sometimes we have to have some diversion. Yeah, we have been talking about walking through the desert. Yeah, so sometimes we have to walk through a desert in order to then reach our final destination. So Rastafari really teaches us to give a meaning, a sense also to what we consider being not so good sometime in life, a backlash, a pitfall, something that happens to us. So what is the meaning of this is bad? We should really stop most of the time addressing things and calling them bad. Because the definition of something bad is that it was not meant to happen. So who are you to say? Who am I to say? This was not meant to happen. And whoever has children knows that sometimes you have to even look your children going through some stages in your life, in their life, that you might not like very much, but they are essential for them to grow in order to become the person that they must become. So your role as a parent is to be trustful, faithful, courageous, and calm in order to observe your child, sometimes even go like this, in order to become a solid, strong tree. So the definition of bad wasn't meant to happen. We should dash that. We should never limit the Almighty. We should never limit the Most High. Yeah? Of course, it doesn't mean that then you're going to accept every wicked things in the world. No. Obviously, there is a balance. You understand? There is a balance. We not say it now that we're not taking to an extreme. You're not saying that now you are going to kill and it's okay to kill. You're going to destroy and it's okay to destroy. You understand? Obviously, everything is in a balance. But we need to observe and know that even when things look going down, they are rising. All right. So we give thanks for your presence. We give thanks for the love. We really feel your love, and we are privileged to be in the presence of your love. So thank you, and take care of yourself. Take care of the people around you, and remember, you are the custodians of your beautiful sanctuary. Make good use of it. Rastafari blessing.
One love, Rastafari.
Give thanks.
Give thanks, Rast.